like how Troy and I got close. It was the off season in the summer, and like Troy did some different things working out. And he's like, hey man, if you ever want to come work out with me, you can. And I was like, cool, I'll come. And he had his whole garage set up as his gym. So we get there and the first thing we do is pray. And so he's Greek Orthodox Christian. So it's different, right? Like I'm Southern Baptist. Like when our pastors pray, they dang near can't breathe in between it. Like that's what I'm used to.
Be careful not to fall asleep.
Right, but it was like this set of prayers. So we do that, we train for a while. Then like his wife cooked, you know what I'm saying? And so we go up and we eat and we're talking, and like that relationship just began to grow. I would go to the monastery because they went to the monastery. So like the nuns, the monks, the priests, I knew them all. Our families became close. He had kids much later than me, so like my kids were around more. And like we just would spend that time, man. And it wasn't, not that it wasn't, like we just kept getting closer. We'd eat together. And then I remember the year I got sick, he comes to the hospital. I think we had played, it was either Cleveland or it was Cleveland. And I want to say we lost, and he came to the hospital, him and his wife. It was me and my wife. I think it was like, I had been there like two days at the time. They couldn't figure out what the infection was yet. So I couldn't go to surgery. And he just came in and just cried. We cried for like an hour, like both of us, And then like he leaves. I had the surgery like 3 days later. They come back, him with the rest of the team. But he was like, other than Coach Garrett Guimont, who was our strength coach, Troy was the only teammate that came by himself. Like everybody else came in groups, but that was our relationship. And then even that year when I was sick and nobody knew what was going on, he was hurt. So every morning, like on Sunday, because we played a lot of primetime games that year, we would wake up, we go to church, and then we go to brunch or we go to breakfast, and then we come to the stadium. Every game, our entire, from 07 or from 08 on, I rode to the game with him. We get to the game 5 hours early. He'd go home, like at the night at the hotel, he'd go home because he didn't have kids yet. Then he had babies, like younger kids. He'd pick me up at like 7 from the hotel. I eat, he'd pick me up, we drive together. On the road, we ride with the equipment managers or take cabs. Like we just did everything together all the time. It's weird, kind of, my wife would laugh, but like every step, every week was the same, and he was a part of it until like after we took showers. Then I'd see him in warm-ups, and that's just what we did. And so we just got this, we developed a relationship to where I wanted to see him do well more than I wanted to see myself, and vice versa. And then we all got that, like the whole team got it. And because we could do that, man, there was just so much love in our relationships that, we learned to be one. We had the greatest coach of all time in Dick LeBeau defensively, man. And like still to this day, like we did when we did Mike's episode last week, we did it Tuesday, put it out Friday, but his birthday was Thursday. His favorite player is Troy. He's a Steeler fan, So I just texted him and I was like, hey bro, I need a favor. I texted him on Tuesday. I was like, I need you, it's like, you got any memorabilia laying around? Can you send it to this kid for me, his favorite player, whatever? And he was like, I can't get it there by the time you do the show. He's like, but give me his house address. And he just does it, and he always does things like that. Just truly one of the greatest humans I've ever known, man. And so like, it was an honor to get to know him. It was a blessing for me because I had Shaun too, and he passed. You know what I'm saying? And like when you're that close to somebody like I was with Shaun, and you have that relationship, like those relationships are like my two biggest football relationships turned friendships, but they were so different. Like me and Shaun, man, I was 23, 24, he was 21. Like we were just starting, and like sky was the limit. Like everybody knew it, that we should have stayed together. And then they signed Archuleta. And then like the last conversation we had, at least in person, we were on the field for the preseason game. And obviously, because I was coming back that week, they asked him questions about me, about like, is it hard to play without Ryan because he didn't play as well and this and that. And he kind of got like upset with him. And the way he answered it, if you just read the answer, it came off like, not like we were. And so he apologized to me. I was like, bro, I don't care. I was like, I get it. I was like, I would be annoyed too if people always ask me about you. you know, and if I wasn't playing like I wanted to. And we just had that conversation, man, and we talked. He talked about baby Jackie and Jackie, who was his fiance at the time, you know, and he was playing so great. And then I get out of the hospital and you get a call that he's shot, you know, and so, you know, you deal with that loss, you deal with the, you know, God saved me. Like, you know, the doctor said he didn't know if I would live. The doctor didn't know if I'd play football again. And yet you got this dude who, at least as far as football was concerned, by far deserved to be out there more than I did. And now he can never play again. He can never breathe again, you know? And so you lose that. And then like to have an opportunity to become friends with Troy and kind of get to relive that sort of relationship all over again, you know, it's just God. You know, I say it all the time, man. God takes care of babies and fools, and I ain't that smart. And I'm way too old to be a baby. You know, so I know what he's doing, man. So to have that relationship, to win a Super Bowl with him, man, and always have that sort of connection and bond, I think it was truly a special thing.
I think